2 on this Saturday because we missed our first last week. We missed it. So we're back. Dave Kendall.
2-a-days.
Brian
For
Fuller.
2-a-days.
Here for Raconteurista. Double the tequila.
Yeah.
Double the mezcal.
Dos
Double the taint.
veces. 2
Okay.
times, baby.
Okay. You want my snake taint title right now? I got another one for you.
Oh, you got another one. Wow.
Another one for you. Ready for it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Tain't no sunshine when she's gone.
That's really good.
Tain't no sunshine when she go away.
Tain't
Tain't no sunshine when she go. No, that's all I know.
Wow.
That's all I know from a song that doesn't exist. Ain't no taint.
No, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. That's good.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
that's awesome.
By the way, this is a continuation of our previous podcast.
I know an old jazz tune.
What is it?
Taint James Infirmary. I went down to the Taint James Infirmary, saw my baby lying there.
Oh my God. Oh,
That's something that David Lee Roth should do.
Oh man, that is crazy. You know, David Lee Roth.
Just a gigolo, Taint James Infirmary.
Have you ever seen? No, you know he has these tattoos, right? Because if you see him a lot of times, he'll have his shirt open,
Yeah.
and it looks like he has a shirt on because he's got these tattoos that come, straight down here, and it looks like a shirt. It looks like it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know him that well, Brian.
Yeah, well, I do. Yeah. Okay.
You and Diamond Dave, big buds.
Yeah. Actually, one of my best Van Halen stories, not me. My friend Bill Chatfield lived in Tulsa, and he and his buddies would go to Kane's Ballroom, the Old Lady on Brady, and a bunch of, and like they had a bunch of great punk rock shows and all this stuff. But they went one time, I think to Kane's maybe, to see Montrose. And they said they walk in, and there's this band that's opening up. They go, we know who it is. And they said, we just see this lead singer come out in like this leather pants that are like scarily low down on him and starts doing kung fu kicks, and it's Van Halen. And they have no idea who Van Halen is. And he goes, man, we walked up that night. We're like, what the fuck was that, man? And then to follow it up, Bill was in Tulsa back whenever Van Halen was playing in Tulsa that time. And he said they were at this hotel that apparently Van Halen was staying at. They didn't know. It was Bill, his girlfriend, Dave Kelly, and Kevin Kelly or Raines. I can't remember who. They were there. And he said all of a sudden, like all these kids come rushing in to the hotel, and security ran them all out because Van Halen was staying there. But they didn't run out, my friend Bill and them, because they said that we had on jackets, so they didn't run us out. And they hung out in the bar, and Van Halen, the whole band comes down there. And at the end of the night, the way it worked out is that Bill and his girlfriend hung out with Eddie, and they went up to his room, and Eddie played him a bunch of songs from the new album. He said he was cool as shit. He said he was awesome. But he said David Lee Roth is so goddamn crazy. David Lee Roth stole the blow that my friends Kevin and them had, stole their blow. And he said Bill said about every 20 minutes, David Lee Roth would come banging on Eddie's door going, come on, Eddie, we got blow, we got chicks, come on, Eddie. It was like, and Eddie just look at them and go, Dave is pretty fucking crazy. And go back to playing songs and stuff. But that was like, so there's your tie-in. To nothing.
Yeah.
I tie into nothing.
Good luck. Good work with that.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty good.
Work.
I love it.
I
love it.
If you can get it.
Yeah. What do you got, Dave?
About David Lee Roth? Man, boy, I bet he is a pain in the ass.
He is. Oh, but real quick, since we're on the second show, kind of got to repeat myself here with the Raconteurista shirts.
Raconteurista t-shirts. Get yours.
Let us know. And,
hot off the presses.
And because we did it already, Snake Taint.
Snake Taint.
There we are.
Snake Taint James Infirmary.
And the
yeah.
Taint Crimper.
Wow, it's like Wheel of Fortune here. Name a vulgar fictional band name with a famous old jazz song. Vanna, roll the wheel. Snake Taint James Infirmary. What the fuck? That doesn't fit any format. Censors.
That fits every format. Oh, what the hell are you talking about, man? Come on.
Okay, so we were talking
Well,
about
We were having a good time.
we were having thoughts of a suicide pact. No, we
Yeah,
were
we
talking
did,
about
we did, we
songs
did.
that blew us. Or
Yeah,
not songs, but,
we call it our Jonestown talk.
hey, you ever heard of that band called the Brian Jonestown Massacre?
I know those guys.
Yeah, I knew that. That's why I brought it up.
No, I know those guys. Really. But I lived in L.A. A friend of mine was friends with them, and I hung out with them for a while. Though at that time, those guys were horrible drug addicts. Horrible drug addicts.
Great
You know.
band name though.
They're a great band name, and they can be a good band.
Right.
But they're and I don't know if they're drug addicts now, but back then they were. It was and they were like they were out of their fucking minds, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the lead guy Anton Newcomb or so, I can't remember his name, but they were a fun band, but it was like sporadic, like any band that's into heroin. It's a very sporadic band, to say the least.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Eventually, you're going to be a shitty band, but you can have sporadic portions of brilliance, but it's going to catch up with you eventually.
Yeah. Well, tell Keith Richards that.
Okay, there's always one.
There's one guy. There's always an outlier.
It's like I love anybody like you got to quit smoking because it's probably going to give you cancer.
Exactly.
Really, I had an uncle that lived at 94. He smoked every day. Yeah, I'm sure there's one uncle. There's always one uncle, but
Right.
most people, it doesn't result that way. It's not a good run.
But I do feel like that if you are Keith Richards, you would appreciate the fact that you are literally the answer to everyone that tries to make you act like you should normally be.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
you know what? You should really quit smoking. Keith Richards.
Yeah, I know.
You drink too much. Keith Richards.
You do too much heroin, Keith Richards.
Keith Richards.
It's like, but I mean, there's always that.
I remember like a
But-
Keith Richards interview where he was like, somebody said, "What's the longest you've ever like stayed awake?" He's like, back in 9 days.
What? Oh my God. Oh
Got a lot
my
of work
God. Oh, but I mean, those kind of guys. I mean, it's like there's such a. It's like I say, people use them. That's their benchmark,
Yeah.
and it's like it's like sort of
It's
like
nice to have a
It's
pocket.
sort of like
a pocket.
It's sort of like models. Like there's like 1%, 0.0001%.
I like having people like this in my quiver. So like it's so and it's not as other people aren't saying, "Hey Dave, you know what? You really need to lighten up on this or that," because nobody cares. But I do this to myself, and then it's nice to have in the quiver. Yeah, well, Charles Bukowski. Henry Miller.
Oh my God.
Oscar Wilde. And then and the other part says, Dave, those guys had talent. So,
Dave, you got talent.
thanks.
Come on.
That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
It's in the clogging world, but you've got talent. I don't know if you know this. Dave is one of the best cloggers in the Central Texas region.
You should see my toilet. What? What are you laughing about?
What a tie-in. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, the dancing kind of clogger. Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
No, I meant you ate a lot of salads. That's
I
what
ate a lot
meant.
of fiber,
And muffins.
But
Yeah.
I can't really
Yeah.
clog up a storm. Ask anybody. Ask my downstairs neighbors. That son of a bitch, he's a nice guy, but god damn it, I wish he quit clogging.
You know, you're talking about
cut his legs off.
You talk about Bukowski. I have to admit, when I heard about Bukowski, I got a book and I don't know which one it was, and it was so goddamn depressing. Trying to read it, I was like, "Oh my God, this is horrible." And so I never really got Bukowski, right? And then one day I was at a Half Price Books, and
What do you mean you didn't get Bukowski?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, hey Barfly, take it on. Yeah, so there was a poetry book of his, and I thought, and it was like $1 or something. I thought, okay, I'll buy this, whatever, And I read it, blew my mind. I fucking love his poetry. Reading his books is very, very hard. It's sort of like Henry Rollins. Love Henry Rollins, but read Get in the Van or whatever, or Black Coffee Blues or whatever. I love Henry to death, but when he writes some stuff, it gets really dark and really down, and it's really tough to come through some of the stuff. And that was Bukowski, but his poetry was surprisingly, to me, very uplifting. I really dug it. I really dig it. You know,
I'll have to revisit the Bukowski poetry.
you should. You know what he used to do? You probably know this. He was a mailman.
Wait, let me take one guess.
Oh, that would be the right guess. But since he was a mailman, he would actually practice at home. He set up a place to set up that he could throw letters into these boxes, because that's what he would do.
Wow.
He would sort stuff out into boxes, and he would hang out and drink all night long and just practice throwing these in there. So he'd come into work and he had to sort these letters in these boxes and just choo 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 choo. Drunken idiot, just doom, 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 doom.
Trying to get it over with.
Have this, get crazy. Have this shit, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom.
I remember, him writing about what's it like to, get up every morning, 6 a.m. hungover, take a shit. Got to force yourself to take a shit so you can drink some coffee, so you can get up, so you can go to work. Just brutal kind of. No, wait, wrong thing.
Whichever one.
you
No,
go.
that's what he did, man. It was crazy.
I mean, did you watch Barfly?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Great. I love that movie.
I love it,
I think
too.
Mickey Rourke's one of the great actors of our time. I think
I-
Mickey Rourke was the next.
I agree.
Brando.
And I think Mickey, Brando in very many ways, because crazy and self-destructive as shit. Brando. I mean, did you ever hear of that about whenever he made Apocalypse Now?
I have heard about that.
Yeah, that Coppola, put up.
He showed up big as a blimp.
Yeah, he put a mortgage on his house to pay him. Showed up big as a blimp, and Coppola was like, "Oh shoot, I can't show him on screen." He goes, "So we'll do that." So we did all the stuff in the dark stuff, the dark cavern and everything. And he said, but every day they get there, and Brando would start going. First of all, he wasn't going to show up because they got they were so far behind schedule. Brando wasn't going to show up, and he's like, I mortgaged my house. And he finally shows up, gets up there, and they said that every time he'd sit there and go, I want to talk about this script. I want to rewrite this. And he was like, he would show pictures of Coppola out there pandering to, and by the way, Coppola resurrected his career with The Godfather. He owes everything to Coppola resurrected his fucking career, and he's back there just sabotaging this shit. You ever seen that documentary, Hearts of Darkness?
Yes, sir, I have.
Oh,
I have.
man. By the way, real quick, we're drinking Desert Door. I've done a mesquite bean infused into this thing.
Yeah, Brian's own blend. Get it while you can. Limited edition. That's it.
It is limited edition. And it's going fast. It's going fast, kids. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. Apocalypse Now.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want to ask speed round. Okay, we're at a speed round.
Okay,
here.
hold on. Keep going. I've got to look at this camera real quick.
Okay.
Go for it. Speed round.
Yeah, speed round. The speed round is where you just ask a blammo question. Got to get an answer.
Yeah, we're good.
What are you looking at?
I had to make sure that I thought it flipped.
Do I need makeup? I mean, because you can tell me. I know one side's better than the other.
Please. Which is your good side? Which is your good side?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Hey, Flava Flav. So what's up?
Beep, 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 beep. Oh,
Okay, what's speed round?
Oh, speed round. Because you mentioned Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask a thing. Just best movie soundtrack. And I thought of Apocalypse Now.
Dazed and Confused.
Ooh, good one. Really good. Mm-hmm. Guardians of the Galaxy.
That would for 80s take. Yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild Angels.
Don't know it.
Because Davy Allen and the Arrows are in that one.
I guess what you call it, the Commitments
Last
or
Picture
whatever.
Show, because a lot of Hank Williams.
Hank Williams. Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Fast Times at Richmond High.
See, you're the expert on this.
No, I'm done. That's it. I'm tapped
Apocalypse
out.
Now. This is the end.
I
Beautiful.
mean, there's parts of it that are good, but like from beginning to end, nah.
What about Almost Famous?
Oh yeah.
Did that have a great soundtrack, or was it just? It was a great music film.
It was a great music show, but I think
That is kind of the best one, almost.
well, you can't. I mean, Cameron Crowe was pretty amazing.
What's the other one that he did? There's another.
Fast Times at Richmond High.
Yeah, but no, there's another movie.
Oh, Singles.
Yes,
That's another good soundtrack.
another good one.
We talked about that last week about how he got
I don't.
Paul Westerberg to write that stuff. But that's an amazing movie because you got Cornell, you got the guys from Pearl Jam in there.
Yeah. Oh, like Temple of the Dog or something like that?
Well, I was Temple of Dog's a different deal. That's after Cornell died. After the lead singer from Mother Love Bone died, right? Yeah.
And I'm thinking of a really obscure. This is an obscure movie from Eastern Europe bloc.
Was it the
by Ox Bernstein, and it had a soundtrack by the Bulgarian Women's Choir. And I mean, you would not. I mean, you have to be really sophisticated probably to get it, but
the Bulgarian Women Choir? It's back. It's back. I love it. I want to get some of her music and do as an intro for this thing. How does it sound like?
It's the opposite of that.
It's more manly.
It is. Yeah, actually, yeah, it is. I can't wait. I got a couple of recs for that.
Okay, we're talking about shows that surprised you. That's what we dealt with last time. And I'm pulling it back to what we just talked about.
What?
Okay? When I was in Dallas,
What were we
there's a radio station called KEGL, I think, right? And they put on a show at the amphitheater. They had like 5 bands, and I can't remember who they were, but one of the bands was the Sugar Cubes with Bjork in it, and they were
The what? Oh, Sugar Cube. Oh, the Sugar.
with Bjork, and they were like they were like amazing, right? But I remember the lead band that was like the headliner was Drama Rama, all right? And I can't remember what songs they've had, but there was Drama Rama. But we went out there, hanging out there watching this, and Sugar Cubes were awesome, and everybody's like waiting around for Drama Rama. And this other band comes on that I guess had just barely got a hit going, and it was Pearl Jam. They had just got that Alive song on there. Nobody knew who they were, no idea, no nothing, right? And so they come out, and I got to tell you, Dave, I've never seen a band. Every fucking member of that band worked so hard in that show. I mean, it was like, Amit, the bass player, jumping off the amps. I mean, everybody's going nuts. Eddie Vedder is diving into the crowd. They're surfing him up to the back and back to the front. And I mean, it was crazy. I mean, they were playing like mad. I mean, and nobody, you got to understand, people barely knew that song Alive, just barely even knew that. And the whole place was like, what the hell? I mean, it was one of the most amazing performances I've ever seen.
I bet.
And then they finished up, and the band after him, Drama Rama, knew that something was going on, because I remember like the lead singer came out and he goes, hey everybody, remember Drama Rama, we're coming up next, right? It was like a weird desperate move, and they came out real quick and started playing.
Don't forget about us, the headliners.
And they started playing because I mean when Pearl Jam finished, half the crowd just walked up. They're like, this can't get any better, right? And so the other half, we stuck around, right? Because okay, let's watch the whole thing. And he said, hey, they don't go. And I was like, well, that's a weird, desperate thing. They come out and started playing, and you could tell immediately they were fucking defeated. Immediately they were defeated. I mean, they were like kind of half out of playing, so much so that lead singer that came out and said, hey, stick around. At one point, the guy starts a guitar solo. The lead singer, I see him grab his beer, and he just walked off stage and just sat off stage during the guitar solo and drank a beer. Just right off stage. And then finally comes back on when it's going on. He was just like a defeated man. Just a defeated man. And right after he did that, the whole rest of the crowd pretty much fucking left.
Yeah, that's when the young bull beats the old bull.
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. I
you
love
gotta
it.
love it.
Love it. Something surprising for you?
What?
Music-wise, it's...
I want to talk about...
What do you mean, what?
You know what? I want to talk about...
Talk
there's
about
two artists
love.
that fit this. There were people that I wanted to see forever.
Yeah.
And they just didn't... God, I can think of 3 of them now.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with the one... So, let's see. As a guitar player... the guitar, I'm not a good guitar player, but as a guitar player growing up...
Just to let you know, Dave is really a good guitar player.
I could be better.
He could be better,
A lot
but he's
better.
good.
I could be average. But look, here's the deal. So growing up, and just starting out really liking electric guitar,
Mm-hmm.
I was into, the usual the usual cats, Keith Richards and Jimmy Page and early on Chuck Berry but like I would hear like people that would be like, ooh, Jeff Beck and Jeff.
Oh,
And
you remember when your friends would like, they're gods.
well, it wasn't so much like that. It would just be I would read about Jeff Beck and be at this time he was kind of. He'd had his early moment with Yardbirds and his own solo thing with Rod Stewart, and then he kind of went into a hiatus, had a bad wreck, and almost killed himself.
Is that what happened to him?
Yeah, he had a bad wreck in one of his own hot rods, and and so he was just out of commission for a while, and so and I had Blow by Blow and I had Wired. I had those two, and I thought, well, it's like they had their moments, but I just didn't listen to them that much, and. I always felt like sort of, I thought that was one of those where I was like, this is on me. This isn't Jeff Beck's fault.
Yeah.
Because I know Jeff Beck's great because everybody wouldn't be saying he was great if he wasn't.
Yeah.
So somehow I'm fucking up here.
Yeah,
I'm the bad guy.
I get you.
I'm the villain.
No, yes, you are.
Yeah. And hey, man, the villain's always gets the girl. And then he has to give up the girl, but then, when he dies and gets killed by the hero. But hey, good run.
That was a good run.
Yeah.
It's a great run.
And so finally, I was living in Austin. It was a South by Southwest, opening night of South by Southwest at the old defunct La Zona Rosa, which was
I love that place.
Sadly underrated venue.
Love that place.
And headline a show that night.
What was La Zona Rosa now? Like an apartment complex? No, it's Mellow Johnny's bike
who
bike
cares?
shot.
Fuck this place.
Fucking Armstrong.
Yeah, let's not get into all that politics and bullshit. God damn it, man.
Did I ruin your flow, bro?
Well, what else is new?
I know.
And,
exactly.
And the close,
you got to bounce back.
The closing act that, and I'm trying just to talk, just tell a fucking story here.
What?
Oh God, man. Snake Tank, get your shirt, get the fuck out of here. Go fuck yourself, man. Listen to this. I wouldn't listen to this. If I was you.
I'm kind of stuck here. I have to. So
you're the cock block of podcast stories. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Well, that's pretty good, but
it ain't no Xanadu soundtrack.
Jeff Beck was playing he was the headline show the opening night.
Yeah.
And he was playing, they had Terry Bozzio.
He lives here, right?
He did, I think he was Frank Zappa's drummer for a while. And
Missing Persons.
he lived here, Missing Persons, and he also had, he had Jennifer Batten on guitar, and she was she was like Michael Jackson's touring guitarist.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Jennifer Batten.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is it. Got a wristband. Go see it for nothing.
Back when the wristband was a worthy purchase for $30.
Yeah, it might not even have been.
Yeah.
And go there with my friend Steve, and there was some kind of competing show across the town. But I was like, well, I got to see this. And Jeff Beck came on, and it was one of those. It was a great show because, right away he was just on fire. I mean, he just came out. Didn't really. Probably came out and did Beck's Bolero or something right off the bat, just to the show is now on.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was one of those things where, as he played, I felt it all start just clicking together. Like, oh, this is why Jeff Beck is considered a guitar god.
Ah.
Yeah, because every fucking crazy technique, every kind of crazy, but everything was in a service.
It wasn't masturbatory. It was actually.
No, here's the thing about Jeff. I've never heard a guitar player that's more communicative or more emotive. There's something about him. He refuses to cliche. He refuses to repeat himself. There's a few kind of licks where you're like, even Eddie Van Halen, you can hear him doing a certain thing half a dozen times in his career. Like a certain
yeah.
Jeff Beck, man, it is hard to find him ever like really doing two things that sound alike. You know, like somebody like Stevie Ray Vaughan would play the
those little riffs
But like Jeff Beck, man, like and like the perfect blend of like masculine and feminine. He'd be totally intuitive with a song, and then just blow open with just like this. It goes to 11, By the way, I've heard that Nigel in Spinal Tap was actually based on Jeff Beck. Do you ever hear that?
No, I didn't, but I do know where they came up with the idea for Spinal Tap. Christopher Guest.
Do tell.
Christopher Guest said that he was sitting at the LA airport, and he was waiting for somebody, and he happened to be down by the luggage area, and he said some band from England was there, and this one guy looked at me. He goes, like this manager goes, "Hey, did you get your bass?" And the bass player goes, "What?" He goes, "Did you get your bass?" And he goes, "Well, you were supposed to get my bass." He goes, "Why would I get your bass? I'm the manager." And he goes, "Well, I don't know where is it?" He goes, they go on for 30 minutes about like, "Where's my bass? I thought you got my bass." And he said he's sitting there watching these guys, just comedy of errors.
Who, Rob Reiner?
No, Christopher Guest.
Oh, Christopher Guest.
Yeah, said he goes, this comedy of errors, and he walked out there, he goes, "I got to do something with that." And that's how Spinal Tap came about. Just him happen to watch these guys be complete morons during the whole thing.
Yeah, somebody asked Eddie Van Halen in an interview, like, "Have you ever seen Spinal Tap?" He's like, "Can't watch that movie."
Bro, I can't.
Like, what? He's like, "There's nothing funny about that to me." He said, "That's life."
Because you can't make that. That stuff is like when they're coming to those wombs or whatever it is, and that the bass player can't come out, just his little arms sticking out, little pods. And then that Air Force, and then it come over, the Air Force radio comes over their wireless shit. Oh my God! But go ahead. But back to Beck.
Oh well,
that's when you kind of like, before you were like, you were pretty good.
Here's the thing.
You like him fine.
Like, I just didn't, it didn't register before that.
Yeah.
After that show, like every Jeff Beck album that I listened to, I got them all.
Made sense.
I'm like, got it. It flipped a switch.
Are you like me? There's a lot of times that I'll see. Good answer.
We've done this before too. Jesus Christ. This is like Nietzschean, the theory of eternal recurrence. Look it up and learn something. If you want to see the hell this podcast has become.
It has become that.
Save me. I wish I had a whole thing I could write. Help.
Your car's right there, motherfucker.
Oh, come on, man.
Did I break the fourth wall?
I got nowhere to go.
Did I break the fourth wall?
I got nowhere to go. I'm lying. I'll be here forever.
Now, have you ever done this? So you go see somebody live, and it just blows your mind that beforehand you listen to the records, I was like, oh, okay. But after live, you go, oh my God, I've done that. And then you try to tell other people about it, and they look at you like going, I don't know.
Gotta be there.
And because I tell you, there's a lot of bands I've seen that when I hear a record after seeing them live, that I kind of go back to that place. And I know what you're talking about there. It's like shocking that, and I guess this brings me to another point. It's like, it's shocking to me how people don't care about seeing live music. That blows my mind. It's sort of like the same way. Two people don't like. They don't like live music. They don't like pork. They don't like them.
Or dogs.
Or dogs.
Or animals.
Or free money. Yeah. Any of that shit. Any of that. Or the Three Stooges.
Oh, amen.
Yeah. You don't like the Three Stooges? You know what they say in my neighborhood? Get the fuck out.
Yeah, you know what they say in my neighborhood?
Certainly. Okay. And we're going to do one on the Three Stooges. By the way, Dave and I we didn't know this, are big Three Stooges fans.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. So we are going to do another podcast, not today, but another time on just basically the Three Stooges.
Three Stooges?
I can fill hours with all the crap I know about those guys.
Yeah.
Hours. Okay. But to a something I didn't know was going to happen to be good and turn out to be good. Okay.
Or somebody you want to see a long time, somebody that flipped your switch. It's your thing.
Did I want to see the long
Do what
time
you
that,
wanna
that flipped
do.
my switch?
It's your thing. See what you want to do. Hey, Brian. Oh, before you get, do you have any? So these are nice,
Yeah.
but for what I have,
Oh,
what we need are what would be good. Do you have some?
bourbon?
You have like
Bourbon?
like brandy glasses or something?
What's a brandy glass?
Well, it's just like a rounder kind of.
Yes. I will go. I don't have any brandy glasses, but I got bourbon glasses.
That's
They're just bigger
close
and,
enough.
bigger and badder. But I don't have brandy glasses. I have brandy
I'm not
albums. I
surprised.
have brandy albums. And let's do a
Brandy,
Let's do a brandy.
you're a fine girl.
No, Brandy the singer. Let's do a Brandy.
Brandy
show.
Carlisle, I love her.
No, Brandy from Moesha. Come on, man, get up with it.
Oh yeah, that. I got a big thing about that.
I used to work for a company. We did Moesha, the show. I'll tell you about that later.
Moesha. Oh great, yeah, that's
Hey, run with that while I go get some glasses.
Moesha. I have no idea what that is, frankly. Is that sounds like a bad Pixel movie or I don't know. I think this is a compound out here actually. I love it out here, but I think it's like a compound. Like black helicopters are flying over. There's like weird caches of
Here we go.
food.
This work?
Oh, ooh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Dave's got something here. I forgot about that. I'm glad you pulled it out.
This is really special.
What is it?
This is something really special. This is a recommendation of my good friends at the Travis Heights Liquor World.
Love recommendations.
We're gonna break the mezcal wall here.
Okay, good. We
Real
should.
whiskey.
Oh yeah.
This is something you evidently, boy, they told me this. If this turns out to be a lie, and I see this like in every 7-Eleven, this is a Japanese whiskey.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like you don't get it this much. It's called Nika whiskey from the barrel.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it's not, you don't get that much. Not that much gets out. 103 proof.
Whoa!
Oh yeah.
Whoa!
This is perfect because this is kind of blow your mind.
Wow. Wow.
Wow is right, man. Wow is right.
Wow.
I feel like, did you ever see Lost in Translation? Bill Murray.
Love that movie. I love it. Donna, it's probably her favorite movie. She can watch that and Hurly Burly all day long.
We should just do a Suntory commercial right now.
This smells amazing. Do we have Smell-O-Rama on YouTube?
We should.
Podcast?
Smell-O-Vision.
Smell-O-Vision? Oh my God.
That's as good as it gets.
That's probably the smoothest whiskey I've ever drank.
Nika whiskey from the barrel, the Japan Importing Company, San Francisco. Oh, they're just importers.
They're importers.
Go to my friends I'm going to go see my friend Eric down at Travis Heights Liquor World.
That's it. Boy, he nailed it on this. Wow, this is awesome.
Yeah, and it's perfect for a gray kind of day like we're having here in Austin, don't you
It's
think?
kind of a gray day, man. I kept thinking the sun was going to come out today.
It's good.
But you know what? You know what? You know what? The sun, we're bringing the sunshine. Sunshine.
And we're walking on sunshine, too, so.
I wish I'd written that song. Walking on Sunshine is one of those songs that is in commercial after commercial after commercial. Whoever wrote that song must have made millions of dollars off.
Was it Katrina and the Waves?
Katrina and the Waves. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
It would be like riding Seven Nation Army.
Exactly. Oh, I'm sure Jack White. Oh, okay. That is so weird. That is so weird that you said that because you would think this is a setup and it's not.
You got a White Stripe story? Mm-hmm. God damn it. I love it when this happens.
Yeah. When I lived in L.A., I read about this band coming to Spaceland, which is right down the road from where Don and I lived. And it said it's a brother and sister punk blues combo. And I told Don, I go, man, that's right up our alley. Let's go see them. So we drove over to Spaceland. We walk in there, and there's probably like, I don't know, maybe like 30 people in this place. Maybe 30 people. And it comes out, and it's the White Stripes. You know, at that time though, we thought it was a brother and sister combo, but there's like 30 people, and they tear it up, tear it up. He did that his version of Jolene and stuff, and it was just like, oh my god. But I gotta tell you, we watched them, and they were amazing. I mean, it was like I say, maybe 30 people. It was very few folks there. We left, and I was telling Don, I go, God, I love that band. But you gotta understand, I've said I loved so many bands after I leave,
It means
thinking
nothing.
they're going to be a big deal. They probably broke up on the way to the van, right?
Right.
You know, probably.
Our last show.
Yeah. So, but we just left there. Oh, man, that is awesome. So we leave there, just blown away. And then they get on to and they're recording for Sympathy for the Record Industry, right? Who's a great label. And one of these, we're going to do another podcast. We're just talking about labels. I fucking love labels. Love them. So fast forward to a year ahead. The White Stripes have started getting a little bit bigger. So they're playing the Troubadour there in Hollywood, right? So we get tickets for that. So we go there, and they're getting bigger. So it's a sellout show because the Troubadour is a pretty small place. And right in front of us, getting in, there's this really big fat guy, and there's this girl that looks like a hooker that's with him, right? So he goes up to the guy who's working the door, and this guy's this pretty big black guy, and I could hear he has a southern accent, right? So this big guy just yelling at him, giving him shit about something all over him, just a complete dick to him. And so the guy finally goes in with his hooker girlfriend, and we walk up behind him. I go, hey man, I'm really sorry that guy's such an asshole. I go, you're just doing your job here. That's a bunch of bullshit, thanks for doing your job. He goes, I appreciate that, man. He goes, here you go, go on in. He goes, oh, here you go. And here's these. And he hands us 2 stickers. And I go, what are these? He goes, that's that asshole's VIP passes. Here, y'all just take them, go upstairs and have fucking fun. And we're like, what? And so we get to go upstairs above the Troubadour, have free drinks in this bar. And this is the weirdest thing about this bar. There's a bar, there's all these chairs and people sitting around, and the weirdest thing, in the corner, there's a fucking shower. Just a shower, just like with clear glass. So if anybody wants to take a shower, just right there. I mean, we were like, what the hell? So we walk out there, and we go, where do we go? They go, you can just walk down these stairs here and stay there. We go, what? So we walk down these stairs, and the stairs go to the fucking stage. So we get to go down there and sit on the stage and watch the White Stripes play. I mean, from me to you right there. And the best part was, I looked out in the audience and I could see that fat guy with this hooker who is just giving him shit. Because I guess he promised her some VIP experience or something like that. I don't know. But we got to watch the White Stripes play, just sit on steps, watch them play. It was amazing. Just awesome, man. Awesome.
I hope that fat guy's.
Fuck that fat guy.
I hope he's watching.
I hope he is too.
Yeah, no sweat.
Hey, you fat fucking idiot. Boo-hoo.
He married he married Zephyr, so.
So that was
the life he's led since then is punishment enough.
Oh, absolutely. His cholesterol is punishment enough. But but that was my White Stripe. That was the weirdest thing. They said when we saw him the first time around. I just read they had played Al's Bar the first time, and they were coming back, and they just said, brother, sister, punk blues duo, sounded like a good idea, But like I said, I've got a million stories about bands that I saw that I loved, and I just thought they're going to be huge, and they never went anywhere,
Yeah, I wasn't into the White Stripes when they were. This is just typical though of my listening, my music self-education. I'm not into a band when they're really popular. And then I catch them later. Like White Stripes, good example, because I didn't really get into them during Seven Nation Army and all that stuff. But
yeah.
Then I got something made me just do a deep dive and yeah, man, it's all those early records are great.
Well, he's a big fan of old blues.
Yeah, he's a unique. He's to me he's kind of the last sort of. Until somebody, I think that at some point music is going to have to rebound from this kind of, ultra this digitized, quantized sort of reality it lives in, and it's a guy like that. A guy like that comes along every so often. Like in the '80s, there was like this new wave and all this stuff, and then
But you had
Stevie Ray Vaughan and the Stray Cats came out virtually at the
Stray
same time,
Cats. Oh,
and
my
kind of just
God.
brought it back to a reality,
Yeah.
to another thing, and like Jack White, White Stripes, kind of the same thing.
Well, his third man stuff.
No, I don't know.
He's back to the old. Okay, this is.
It is funny though that
this
he had a feud with the Black Keys. It almost seems like they just ginned that up.
That was weird. I don't know. Understand that
for just Black White.
You know what? Here's a weird story about Jack White and Third Man Records, because he has a Third Man books, right? They put out books, and I had a friend of mine, Chet Weiss from the Immortally County Killers, one day emails me and he goes, "Hey man," he sends me a picture. And he goes, "Did you take this picture?" And it was a picture I'd taken of his amp, right? Because he and J.R. Collins played in the Morley County Killers, and I took a picture of Chet's amp. I go, "Yeah, I took a picture of that." He goes, "Hey," "I work for Third Man Books, and we're getting ready to put a book out of poetry. Can I use this picture on the back of the book?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care. Fine. Just spell my name halfway right." Turns out they put it on the front cover of the book. And it was like, all of a sudden, I'm in the first Third Man Books book that came out. Here's the best part. I'm on the front cover. The best part is Tim Kerr from the Big Boys here in Austin is on the back cover. And so I love that I'm on something with Tim Kerr. That's a big freaking deal to me.
That's good for you.
Oh, it was like weird. It was out of the blue. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I had no idea. So there's my Third Man tie-in. All of it tying in back to Jack White. There we go.
Jack White.
There we are. All right. So who else surprised the shit out of you?
The funny thing is, like right after this concert is 5 seconds. It was a new record, ladies and gentlemen. I literally got one word. Did I even get a word out? I took a breath in.
Not really. You didn't begin to fly, but you got a breath in.
Oh, boy. No.
It's called dead air, bitch. Get it on.
The dead air is when you're talking. Yes! Yes!
That's not funny.
It's funny because it's true. Oh, you know who? I know you're a fan of these guys. This was the Acropolis. There was a place called the Acropolis in Austin that had
The Acropolis? I've never heard of that place.
Yeah, of course not.
Oh,
and,
snap! Yeah, you're too new to this town.
Hey, man, look, I'm wearing an ascot. I know people in Wimbledon.
What does that mean to me?
Everything, sadly enough.
I'm wearing underwear.
It had a weird, like, of course, the Acropolis. It had like these weirdly kind of sort of half-assed. It was like a cross between like a Roman temple and a strip club, which actually is a pretty fucking great concept.
Sounds like a right place to go hang
Holy
out, man.
cow, man. Jesus Christ.
Heavy on that last part.
And why did I go to? Oh, my friend. A guy from podcasts past, like the last one. My friend Steve had. Maybe it was his idea to go see this little psychedelic trio from Arizona called the
Meat Puppets.
Meat Puppets.
Oh yeah, man.
And I guess it's when
they lived here that time.
About Too High to Die. Like when they kind of sort of got.
Yeah, that was that was on SST Records, and that was the one that there was one that was kind of quasi hit, kind of on a college radio sort of a way.
Yeah, this would have been Too High to Die probably era or something. But, and I was, and I just, I thought it was.
So you didn't know who they were? Or you kind of
I just had an inkling, This was just like one of those, well, I've heard of this band. You bought the tickets, let's go.
Yeah.
And Yeah, man. I totally got into it. I mean, living in Austin at the time, I was used to seeing bands that were. I mean, they weren't like tight like a.
Oh hell no, they weren't
But they
tight.
were. But
They were
everything was
fun.
super. There's a lot of virtuosity in
Yeah.
Austin. To be like a guitar player in Austin's almost like you have to. It's like being a banjo player in a bluegrass band. You
Oh, yeah.
just about have to be a virtuoso.
Oh, yeah.
Or offer something so unique. Back when I got here in god dang 1989. And that's the heyday of a lot of great guitar players. And and I remember thinking, these guys are really sloppy.
Oh yeah.
They were real sloppy.
Oh yeah.
But they had this kind of like psychedelic desert boogie ZZ Top vibe.
Yeah.
That I liked. And I mean, I came away from there like being a big fan of the Meat Puppets, Like I got their, bands that can like give you their, basically what a good artist, a musical artist or any kind of artist or anybody that creates, if they can create an alternate reality
Oh, yeah.
for a while, and I'm not a Grateful Dead fan or anything like that, but the Grateful Dead would be like a perfect example of a band who, with the help of the proper hallucinogens, can create an alternate reality. So, and I mean, the Meat Puppets, they did that like Jeff Beck did that for me.
Yeah.
Like create an alternate.
Well,
reality.
it's funny that Kurt Cobain brought him out on that acoustic MTV
Lake Fire
Unplugged, right?
Yeah.
And I remember something that there was a interview with Courtney Love, who gives a shit, but she was saying that the court was going, man, the Meat Puppets are fantastic, and she was like, what the fuck? I listened, it sounds like shit. And I have to admit, if you listen to their records, they're good, but if you see them live, you get it. I mean, because it's these two brothers, and one went down a bad path, but he's okay now. But they would just do this music, and it was this cool, weird, like I said, desert sort of vibe.
Do you remember the album Huevos?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Well, that was like their ZZ Top record.
Oh yeah.
That's just like like their version of ZZ.
All those album covers are paintings by one of them. Kurt or Chris, I don't know which one.
Yeah.
Does the album covers for that stuff? No, but there's like that Meat Puppets too. I mean, how they got onto SST Records, which is Black Flag's label that Greg Ginn ran, and how they got on there, I have no idea how they got onto that. But all those guys kind of like they hung out in the world of quote unquote punk rock, but they weren't. It's sort of like Meat Puppets and Minutemen were thrown in with punk rock as on SST Records, but they weren't even close to punk rock,
Well, I'll tell you the thing about the Meat Puppets is that like when I went out to I spent like a few weeks out in Tucson earlier this year.
Yeah, I remember you had a good time out there, man.
And I deliberately played Meat Puppets. Like
really?
At points when I was driving out in there. Just because they're from out in there. They're from Arizona.
Yeah.
And so that's another level on which I appreciate the Meat Puppets, because you listen to the Meat Puppets driving through Arizona, and you got the proper kind of medication. It all makes sense.
Well, if you want to throw something else along that way, play some Calexico and play some Giant Sand.
Giant Sand.
Yeah. Giant Sand is Howie Gelb, and Calexico are Joey Burnside, and I can't think of the
RL?
No, yeah. There's Joey and another guy, the drummer, I can't think of his name, but they
Ironside, Raymond Burr.
They were all yeah, it's exactly. Ironside is the name of the band that you need to go watch.
There's an obscure reference.
Wheel yourself on down and get you an Ironside CD. go for the choice parking spot up front and get the Ironside CD.
Oh no! Oh, Raymond Burr, what a genius!
No, that was a flamer, total flamer. It's awesome, man.
Raymond?
Yeah, yeah. That's
Speaking
awesome.
of flamers.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
One of my favorite episodes of Ironside was a guy had him like held hostage in his apartment, and somehow Raymond Burr convinced him. Of course, he's in a wheelchair, so they can't like just take him out, and he's, I mean, he could offer him some services, but anyway, what he does is he like, I have to make us a meal. I'm diabetic, and the guy's like, all right, and so Raymond Burr like winds up like loading a bunch of like whipped cream cans into the oven, turns it on.
Oh my God.
And so he's waiting for the oven to explode. And when he does, the oven explodes and the bad guy like turns to the oven. And somehow Raymond Burr like, takes him down in a wheelchair. Through the power of Cool Whip. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands on the radio and feel the Cool Whip. I'm so redneck.
Oh, yeah.
That my sister was marrying a guy, and his sister came out to have Thanksgiving with us, and they were real redneck.
Yeah.
And like when it came time to eat the strawberry shortcake, she said, "Pass me some of that Cool Whoop."
Whoop.
Yeah.
Cool Whoop.
Cool Whoop. And that's my story about Jeff Beck.
Oh my. Man, my grandmother thought Cool Whip could go on everything. She
Baloney.
thought cool. It didn't matter.
Drink that.
It was either
Crush it.
Cool Whip,
Click, 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 click.
Cool Whip, or Campo Finique.
I'll own this place later.
You what?
I'm like, I'll own this place later. No,
Great. That's
Scorpio.
El Scorpion is yours.
I feel like we're.
Take this on. Take Scorpion Ranch on.
It's too much for me.
Take
It's too
Scorpion
good.
Ranch on.
It takes a man of your stature.
I found that I had to drag a dead deer off it this week. Had to drag a dead deer and cut its head off, cut its skull off. As Donna said, she goes, Scorpion Ranch. It's 5 acres of hell. And
I
that's
love
it, man. That's it. If y'all can't
It's
see
hell
it,
and
y'all
heaven.
can't see, but there's a deer head hanging up on my off my truck shed here, trying to season it out, man. So, anybody wants to come to Scorpion Ranch, come on.
I feel
it's a place to haul carcasses around.
I mean, the closest thing I've seen to this are like the new previews of Dune.
Well, better than the old Dune.
Well, ain't that the truth?
You know what's funny? Have you ever seen the old Dune?
Yeah.
I haven't. And I'm a sci-fi nut. But I read so many bad things about it now. I really want to watch it. Because apparently it's horrible.
David Lynch.
Did he direct it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know what's funny is David Lynch to me is sort of like to movies, sort of like Neil Young is to me for music, where I appreciate what he's done, but I can't say that I'm a fan of every single thing he's done. Right. But I love the journey he's taken. Now, granted, I think, Young is a lot more focused than Lynch, because Lynch, sometimes he just gets out there and I'm like going, are you just being weird for weird's sake? I mean, is there a point to this? I don't know.
I want to make this point right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said this.
Yeah.
Very good observation.
Yeah.
There are bands like Neil Young is a perfect. He's COVID. So he's a perfect example of an artist to me that fits the category of like artists that, and Jeff Beck was in this category, like somebody who's you don't necessarily love them,
Yeah.
but you recognize
Yeah.
that they're, there's something to them, like
Yeah.
that they're worthy of like, the accolades.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, Neil Young is an example of that to me. I don't love everything Neil Young's done.
Yeah.
I don't even pretend to. I don't even try to. I don't listen to it all. But like, but the stuff he's done that I like the live version of Powderfinger off Rust Never Sleeps.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's up there with anything.
Well, the way I look at it is this way. It's like to get from here to here, if they had to do things that I just wasn't really a big fan of, they had to do those to get to something over here that I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of look at that
Right.
sort of thing. It's like, it's like some sort of like a painter or whatever. It's like you go through
Right.
different versions of it, and I'm a big fan of you expand and you try things, and I really appreciate people that do things and you fall flat on your face, and you might not work. Like
Yeah, I do too.
that's why I'm a big fan of Monty Python, right? Monty Python, not every Monty Python script is great, but the ones they fail on such an astronomically great level that they didn't take this middle of the road stuff. They went way the hell
Yeah.
outside. And it might not have worked, but god damn it, you got to respect that you tried something so
To make failure work.
oh man.
You know
I
who's
mean,
Johnny Carson.
oh
Remember
yeah.
how Johnny Carson
Oh yeah.
could like bomb? It was almost funnier to watch him bomb.
Then yeah.
And he would bomb, and Ed would be like, "Oh,
Oh no, and
wow."
Carson was the best at like letting people, like right now, like every person since Carson as a talk show host is real quick of just like ripping on something real quick. Carson he would see something, he'd sit back and just wait instead of jumping right on
Yeah,
it.
right.
He'd wait because he knew I can come back to that here at some other point. And he was like the king of like later on he would come back and do something.
Well, he was the thing. His thing was about making other people look good.
Oh, he was He
Which
wasn't-
is that's
he didn't
a
want-
skill that, like, I mean,
Oh yeah.
you or I, neither one have.
No,
at this
no,
point.
not at all.
I'm working on it. I don't know
Not
if you
me.
are.
Not
Yeah,
me.
That's what I thought.
Is that obvious?
Yeah. it's pretty funny, right? Another artist in that Neil Young category for me is, and I'm going to bet, and I'm willing to, you know what? I'm willing to put money on this. That it's the same for you. And I'll
Okay.
put money on it.
Okay. How much?
And you can be honest with me.
Okay.
How much? $20.
$20.
Bruce Springsteen.
Yes. Fucking love him.
You don't owe me any money.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, wait. I'm saying I don't love Bruce Springsteen, but I respect him.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of Springsteen goes a long way, right? But I think he puts a lot of times too many words into a particular song.
Overly bombastic.
Yeah. But that Nebraska album is one of the greatest albums I've ever heard. It was him and am I right? He was in a hotel room with a 4-track recorder and just made that. I could be wrong about that. I don't know, but Johnny.
Oh, he was doing the Robert Johnson thing.
Yeah, but that Johnny 99. Johnny 99.
I never listened to that record.
oh
I've
my-
listened to the State Trooper. Woo, woo,
No, I first of all, I think Springsteen is amazing because he understands rock and roll. He understands it. Now, I had a friend of mine, a guy I used to work with. He's a little bit older than I was. He said that a friend of his called him, and this would have been back in like 1983, 84, maybe. He called him up from Houston. He goes, "Man, I just saw this guy here in Houston. He's coming to the Armadillo. You got to go check him out. His name is Bruce Springsteen." And so my friend, on his recommendation, went and saw Springsteen at the Armadillo. And he said it was like, I don't know, it was like $3 to get in or something like that. And he goes, "Oh my God, it blew me away." So, I mean, I can't imagine what it was like to watch Springsteen back in that day.
I think he's the classic example of, like, if you saw him live, you probably got it.
Well, 'cause you saw him for 4 fucking hours.
Yeah, that's right.
I know my friend Bill Chatfield, I go back to Bill Chatfield, which, by the way, we're going to have people on this show here at some point. And my friend
No,
Bill,
we're not. We're
My
not
friend
gonna
Bill
have people on the
Chatfield
show.
is somebody we should have on because that guy is.
Well, they can take your mic time
Oh
away.
yeah, no.
but-
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That
Were they
if,
good?
if I cared, that would hurt.
That's why I said it.
No, but Chatfield had a job back in high school in Tulsa, and the girl he broke up with walked into his Pizza Hut job, which, by the way, in high school, Pizza Hut was a great job.
We need to actual put charts on here for this story.
Yeah,
Chatfield, this chick in a Pizza Hut, this
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
A genealogy.
Yeah, exactly. You can put Chatfield and Billy Bake. Those are the two names you can put on there. But his ex-girlfriend walked in and go, "I hate your guts. We broke up, but I just got free tickets to Bruce Springsteen in Dallas, Texas, and free flights. I can't go. You can go." And he quit his job right there at Pizza Hut, flew down there, had like third row seats or something. And he said, Springsteen played for 4 hours. He said he jumped out at one point and stood on the chair right in front of Bill and started singing right to Bill. And Bill said it was everything I could do not to reach up and just kiss the man and tell him how much I fucking
course
love him. I love him for what he did. But Springsteen, the guy, it was and not just him, it's a whole band.
Right.
Van Zandt, Nils Lofgren,
Right.
Clarence, Harvey, all those guys. It's crazy.
I love him because, I love him for lots of reasons. Even, I don't like him a lot, but I love him in a way.
I get it.
He was on Fresh Air with Terry Gross, that NPR show.
I love that show.
And she was talking to him something about the lyrics you wrote from back in those days, I want to die with you, Wendy, on the streets tonight in an everlasting dream or whatever. And what do you think about those kind of lyrics now? And he's like, look, here's the thing. For a young person, pop music is asking one basic question. Will you take your pants off? And I'm like, I love this guy. He gets it. He gets it on such a fundamental, primal level.
Meatloaf took it to the ultimate, on that.
Meatloaf. Oh, my God.
Will you stop right there?
You can't go any further.
Do you love me? Do you love me forever and need
I
me?
love you for the rest of my life. Now I'm praying for the rest of my life. Wow. Is that what... I wonder if that's what gave birth to Jack Black. Doesn't that sound just like...
It's funny. Okay, speaking of Jack Black, I have a Jack Black story.
Well, let's
for you.
don't tell a Jack Black story.
Yes, let's tell a Jack Black story.
Come on. Can we just talk generally about Jack Black?
No.
As an
This is
entity
music.
of
It's a
goodness?
music story. It's a music story. When I lived in L.A., I went to
Okay.
go over to do a
I can't
show.
wait to hear a Jack Black story.
I went to go do a show over in Los Feliz at a Mexican restaurant. Go in there, go do a show, and it's an open mic, whatever. So I go up and do a show, and there's other people going up, and then I look around and notice all the people from Friends are there, right? I'm
the
like,
TV show.
yeah, I'm like, what the fuck are they doing
What's
there?
her name and what's his name? And
Yeah.
Joey and
They're
blah,
all
blah.
there. David Schwimmer, all these people there. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then all of a sudden, this band comes up that people go nuts over, right? These guys go nuts over. And they do this weird show. And it's two guys on guitar.
Two guys on guitar. Wait.
Yeah. Tenacious D. They're up there playing, right? And they do this weird show and I can't even give it justice, of where Spider-Man comes in at one point in the show. Takes
The
him on.
Spider-Man?
The Spider-Man comes in, and then a Bill Clinton impersonator comes in with these bodyguards, and Kyle quits the band. Jack has to take it on. Kyle comes back and then fights off Spider-Man and this Bill Clinton impersonator, and they get the band back together. It was this surreal night that I'm just sitting there going, this is a comedy show? I'm like, this is crazy. And you understand, nobody knew who the fuck Tenacious D was or Jack Black, but apparently the fucking Friends people knew who he was. And it was an amazing night. It was this performance. It was truly like performance art. It was amazing what they did. You just sit there, and I remember when it was done, I go, I'm going to tell people about this, and there's no fucking way I can explain this because it was you've seen those shows where it's like, I just can't explain it. It's so crazy. Yeah. And I ran into Jack Black about a week later at this Ralph's grocery store, and I saw him. I go, man, I caught you the other day. And he was the nicest fucking guy, just the nicest guy. But you know what it is? You've seen these kind of shows because you've done improv, and you've seen shows that you just walk out and you're like, I don't even know how to tell people how fucking great this was.
The best stuff is not, you can't really talk about.
No, you can't. You can't. Yeah. You can describe it to a certain degree. And I think it kind of goes back to us talking about bands, and maybe it was in this episode or the one from, earlier.
Yeah, but back in our archives. You can search for it.
Back in the archives.
It's misty. We don't even remember when we did it. It was.
But back when you're talking about, you see somebody live, and then when you play their records later, you get it because you saw them live.
No.
And nobody else gets it if they haven't seen them live. They're like, it's okay. And it almost wants to piss you off, but you can't get mad about it. You're like, okay, I get it. I understand.
Well, it makes me wonder about just the nature of the human mind. That it took that, that we still are dependent on that kind of immediate experience in order to really get something. You know, like why is it that I could listen to Jeff Beck albums for years but it took 2 hours for me to just all of a sudden it all just went
Oh, I get you.
ding
Yeah.
ding 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 ding.
Yeah, no, I get you. And that's what brings it back to this thing we're talking about. Like, if people don't like pork or live music, I don't fucking get it. How do you not, and I shouldn't say live music. How do you not like live entertainment? To see.
Or music. I know people that don't say they don't care about music. I don't get that.
I don't get that. I don't get that.
I don't really know those people, but
I don't hang out with those people.
no.
Because it's like,
Well, you ain't listening to this podcast.
we don't have to worry about those fuckers.
Yeah.
So, hey, by the way, all you people that don't like music, doesn't really matter. You're not listening to our shit.
Yeah.
People that listen to our stuff, I know what I would love to know. Who listens to us? Please write a comment.
That's a good question.
Yeah, please write a comment.
We have likes.
We do have likes. We do have some likes. Yeah.
But I'd like to know who's actually sat through every minute of this.
Oh, not me.
All of these podcasts.
Not me.
And can we get help to you?
Yeah. Not me though. No, I can't sit through this shit.
Well, I have. I mean, I've listened to our podcast.
No, I know you have because you give me breakdowns. It's awesome.
You don't actually listen back to the podcast.
In
an effort for self-reflection and self-improvement.
To be honest with you, no, self-improvement is for the fucking birds. I don't care about that shit.
Well, the birds actually do that, which is like, birds actually have you know about
birds try to improve themselves?
You know about the
really a bird tries to improve itself every day?
A crow? Do you know anything about the corvid family?
The crows are the smartest goddamn birds in the whole wide world.
Yeah,
they remember people.
They remember faces. They learn to use tools. They're bound for self-improvement. I'm just saying, be like the crow.
I'm no crow. Oh! If y'all on podcast, please go to YouTube right now to watch Dave be cocky as shit, brushing his left breast and holding his whiskey up in one hand in a real condescending way.
You've totally captured the moment. I'm lightly brushing my left pack, holding. I feel like a kind of like a white trash version of a James Bond villain.
James Bondage.
I should. If I was, and if I was petting a possum. Mr. Bond, you thought I'm taking over the world, and I got Clovine.
And the possum looks up and goes,
Yes. The possum steals a scene. That's how shitty this movie is. The possum steals every scene.
You're called white trash finger. White trash finger. He's a man with the trashiest white.
Yeah. He made a slut.
He made a slut that was his stepmother.
Trash. White trash. God damn it, that's good. That reminds me of. You remember that?
Sorry, man.
You remember that joke?
I'm sorry. Petting a possum.
I know.
That is one of the greatest things. That is one of the greatest things I've ever heard.
It's James Bondo.
Anybody who's ever done car work would know what he's talking about.
He works in a body shop, and on the side, he's got one enemy, and it's Octopossum. Octopossum. And he's like, oh, Mr. Bond. He's like, oh my God, this is a movie. Mike Myers, call me.
And a guy shows up, instead of throwing his hat and cutting people off, he just takes out that little knife.
No, it can still be a hat. It could be a cap.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but a gimme cap.
And it's probably
from some automotive place.
Yeah, something
Kenny's Automotive.
Something obscure. Yeah, like that. Goldfinger, the man with the Midas touch. Boldfinger. Boldfinger, get it out of my butt.
Oh my God,
Did you hear that? Boldfinger, get it out of my butt. Write that down.
Oh my God, just petting a possum. All right, man. We're right here. We're right here at an hour, and I don't.
We're over.
I
We're
very
way over.
seriously doubt
Oh,
we
we're
will
not-
get any better than White Trash Finger petting his possum.
Fighting James Bondo.
Oh my God, James Bondo. That's awesome. Okay, we're signing off here. So here's the deal: go to our website, put comments in there because we will do. Tell us if you got an idea or whatever. We'll
And
go
we'll
for
ignore it.
Well, we probably will.
But we want to hear about it. If it's damn good.
While we're kind of drunk, we'll listen to it. But now that when we sober up, we might not. But we'll read it.
We will read it.
We'll read it.
Hey,
for
man,
sure.
if it's good. Yeah, send us some
Bring
suggestions.
it. We'll do it. We'll
Bring
do it.
it.
I ain't got no problem.
Yeah, I mean,
What's your problem, Dave?
I don't have one.
I don't either, man.
I've just had a
I mean,
breakthrough.
you got a problem with me, but that's a different deal.
I don't really.
No.
It's all for show.
I know. There we go. All
Adios.
show, no go.
We'll
Peace
check y'all
out,
later.
bitches.
Love you.